I come from the University of Science and Technology of China. It's my honor to present our work, Multiple Handshakes Security of TLS 1.3 Candidates. This work was accomplished in TCA laboratory in the Institute of Software, Chinese Academy of Sciences. My presentation will cover the following aspects. In the first part, I'm going to begin with the background and motivation of this research. The second part covers the security analysis of TLS 1.3 multiple handshakes protocol. In the last part, a simple conclusion is given. Now, let's briefly introduce the TLS protocol. As is well known, TLS is the most widely used cryptographic standard for securing communications on the Internet. For example, the HTTPS protocol. The current version is TLS 1.2, and here we mainly focus on the TLS 1.3, which is still being drafted. The first question, why do we need a new TLS version? Firstly, prior TLS versions have been shown vulnerable to a series of attacks. It is a common practice to address one new attack with ad hoc updates and patches. However, this may be very hard to implement due to the huge use basis of TLS. There may be other additional requirements such as low handshake latency and privacy that call for a new standard. Since 2014, IETF has been drafting the TLS new version, TLS 1.3, and the latest version is draft 13. Compared with TLS 1.2, TLS 1.3 makes several cryptographic changes, such as removing RSA key transport, providing zero RTT option. TLS 1.3 draft 10 supports 4 handshake modes, which are also the objects of our research, namely the 4 handshake, zero RTT, PSK-based resumption, and resumption in combination with DHE. In practice, both the TLS 1.2 and the new version TLS 1.3 support multi-handshake modes and allow various combination running of handshake protocols. Moreover, it is due to the interaction and dependence of different handshake modes that lead to several practical attacks on TLS, such as the renegotiation attack and the triple handshake attack. There are a series of wonderful works on security proof of TLS, including the TLS 1.2 4 handshake, the TLS 1.3 4 handshake modes. The composition result for TLS 1.2 renegotiation in 2013 and that for TLS 1.3 resumption in 2015 are 2 significant progresses. However, most existing results only focus on a fixed one of the TLS handshake protocol, which is not enough for the security analysis of a complex TLS standard. So our goal is to give a systematic and comprehensive security analysis of TLS in combinational running setting, which can cover the various dependence and interaction between different handshake modes. Now let's move to the security analysis of TLS 1.3 multiple handshake protocol. Firstly, we give the formal definition of multiple handshakes key exchange protocol through a tree structure for the first time. As shown in this illustration, the tree has multiple levels and multiple nodes. And each node can be used to denote one session, for example, one TLS handshake. And different node types corresponding to different handshake modes. We can cover relations between different handshakes through this tree structure, especially in the same level, different sessions run independently and concurrently. And in different level, one session may cache and use the key materials from the related session in prior level. And one multiple handshakes protocol running can be represented by the nodes on the path from the root to the leaf. We also divide each session into multiple stages, each of which has its own session key. The bold path denotes a running of TLS 1.3 multiple handshakes protocol, namely the composition of the initial full handshake 0 RTT with the PSK-based resumption, and the resumption master secret used in the PSK-based resumption is derived from the 0 RTT in prior session, in prior level, and the semi-stack keys used in 0 RTT comes from the initial full handshake in the first level. For the multiple handshakes protocol, we extend the multi-stage model from the following aspects to present a new multi-level and stage security model. Firstly, this model should include all handshake modes and cover the security relations between different handshake modes, and moreover provide practical and strong guarantees for the multiple handshakes protocol. In addition, during the model, we also consider the level key dependence property, the semi-static keys, and moreover, there would be more comprehensive reply rules to the adversary's Oracle queries. The below is an overview of the multi-level and stage security model. Here, one protocol running consists of multiple successive handshakes, namely a series of sub-protocols. The property of stage J forward secrecy indicates the disclosure of all the session keys before stage J, after the corruption of the long-term secret. We also consider the concurrent executions of all potential authentication modes. For example, the 0 RTT handshake mode, it may have these two authentication modes. In the model, we also introduce the definition of level key dependence property, which can cover the relations between sessions in different levels. For the adversary with the following allowed Oracle queries, its goal is to break the match security and the key secrecy of the multiple handshakes protocol. Now we will introduce the main extensions we made in this work. Firstly, we use a label to uniquely identify one session. The item lead denotes the session's index, and the pre-lead denotes the index of the related session in prior level. We can define the relations between different handshakes following by the following three rules. Namely, if the key materials used in label prime are derived from the session label, then we will set the pre-lead of label prime equals the lead of label. And in this case, the session label prime lies in the next level of the session label. And if they share the same pre-lead, they must be in the same label. The composition of TLS 1.3 0 RTT and PSK-based resumption can be seen as an example. In this work, we extend the key dependence property from stage key dependence to the level key dependence. Namely, we say label prime has a level key dependence on label. In stage J, when the prelead of label prime equals the lead of label, such that the disclose of the session key kj in label compromises the Q1 in label prime. And the keys for the keys in later stages of label prime may depend on the key dependence property of the session label prime. We also consider the semi-static keys, which lies between the ephemeral keys and the static keys. In TLS 1.3, these keys will be contained in the server configuration message and will be cached for about 1 week for the 0RTT handshake mode. In our work, this key can consider to be corrupted after the handshake. According to our analysis, in this case, the key secrecy property of the 0RTT is not affected. During the definition of the adversary model, the challenger should need to respond according to the specific properties of security model for the adversary's query. Especially for the new session query, the association between new session and the related session in prayer level should be considered. And for the review query, the future session keys of later stages and later levels may also be reviewed due to the key dependence property. Thirdly, for the corrupt query, all sessions that use the same static and semi-static keys should also be set corrupted. And at last, for the test query, the sessions that are considered to be fresh before should be redivided to avoid trivial handshake, to avoid trivial attacks. The security goal of multi-level and stage security model are split in two games, one for key secrecy and the other for match security. Key secrecy ensures the session keys for all levels and stages look random, and match security ensures the session identifiers match the pattern sessions in 3 different cases, namely the same mode and same level, across modes and across levels cases. Based on the multi-level and stage security model and the following security assumptions, namely the signature scheme is geared against the UFCMA, and the DDH problem and the gap DH problem are hard, and the hash function is a collision resistant, and the PRF function is random. Then we can prove that TLS 1.3 draft 10 multiple handshakes protocol is multi-level and stage secure in our model. We accomplish the proof by induction on the number of handshakes, namely n. Now that we have looked at the proof sketch. In the first step, for n equals 1, we show that the theorem holds. Next, if pi is a multi-level and stage secure protocol and consists of n minus 1 successive handshakes, then we can show that the composition of pi with a new session label prime satisfy both the match security and the key secrecy. More specific, for n equals 1, which means that there is only one level and one handshake, namely the TLS 1.3 full handshake mode. We show that in this case, the theorem holds due to the result of DFGS 2015-5. The second part for match security. Firstly, note that the multi-level and stage secure protocol pi must exist due to the result of the first step. Here we use the pi prime to denote the composition of pi with the new session label prime with any possible handshake mode. Since pi is match secure, then in the same mode and the same level case, we just need to focus on the match security of multiple executions of label prime. And for both the across modes and across levels cases, we show that the session label prime does not match any session in pi. And thus, we can prove that the new protocol pi prime satisfies the match security. The last one for key secrecy. The key secrecy property of pi guarantees the indistinguishability of session keys and the confidentiality of the encrypted key materials derived from the session pi that is used in the session label prime. And then we can focus on the key property of the label prime in isolation. As a result, we've shown that the session label prime with each of the 3 handshake modes, namely the PSK-based resumption in combination with DHE, the 0RTT handshake mode satisfies the key secrecy property with their own running miner. For example, the running miner of 0RTT is a key independent stage 2 forward secrecy with these 2 authentication modes. During the proof of 0RTT, the OWL model is used. Up to now, we have finished the proof of the key secrecy and also the Intel theorem. At the last of this work, we tried to apply the multi-level and stage security model to TLS 1.2. Here we consider TLS 1.2 with unencrypted finished messages, since the unaltered TLS 1.2 cannot be proven secure under the BR-like model. In this case, the triple handshake attack still works. And the first stage of TLS 1.2 full handshake is for the master secret, and the second stage is for the session key. According to our analysis, the multi-level and stage security model can capture the triple handshake attack by satisfying the following 2 conditions defined by match security. And moreover, the security proof of TLS 1.2 patched with RFC 7627 can be similar to that for TLS 1.3. This result in turn confirms the soundness of the new security model. In conclusion, the work we have done can be summarized as 4 parts. Firstly, we give the first formal definition of multi-handshakes key exchange protocol. Secondly, we introduce the multi-level and stage security model for multiple handshakes protocol. Then we analyze the security of TLS 1.3 draft 10 multiple handshakes protocol in multiple level and stage security model. At last, we confirm the soundness of the multi-level and stage security model by applying it to TLS 1.2. That's all. Thank you.
Questions?
Hey, thanks for the talk. I wonder, I didn't fully understood. You said that the zero-round-trip time keys you expect, or you want to have them secure, even if the semi-static key is leaked. So this small s and the G to the s. Is that what I understood that correctly, or not? So
I'm sorry.
Do you prove that the zero-round-trip time keys established are secure, even if you later reveal the semi-static key? Because I saw it on the slides, but maybe let's take it off another way.
Can go back.
Could we go back a few slides? So which slide do we need to go back again? Which slide do you want?
There's somewhere in the model description where you talk about security of zero-round-trip.
Can we go back again? Yeah.
Okay. there, okay, go one forward, and one back, sorry. Yes, so you say the server configuration TLS can be corrupted after the handshake and it does not affect the key secrecy of the round-trip time.
Yeah.
Okay, but isn't the key just built from something where if you know S, you learn the key?
When the semi-static key in 0RTT is corrupted, the early application traffic key is revealed. But this case has been covered by our security model.
Okay, so you consider it revealed and not
Yeah.
anymore good. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.